Ezekiel chapter 25. The word of Adonai came to me, saying, Son of man, set your face toward the children of Ammon, and prophesy against them. Say to the children of Ammon, Hear the word of Adonai. Thus says Adonai Elohim, because you said, Aha, against my sanctuary, when it was defiled, against the land of Israel, when it was made desolate, and against the house of Judah, when they went into exile. Therefore, behold, I will give you over to the children of the east as a possession. They will set up their camps among you and make their dwellings among you. They will eat your fruit and drink your milk. I will make Rabbah a grazing place for camels, and the children of Ammon a resting place for flocks. Then you will know that I am Adonai. For thus says Adonai Elohim, because you have clapped your hands, stomped your feet, and rejoiced with all the disdain of your soul against the land of Israel. Therefore, behold, I will stretch out my hand over you. I will deliver you as plunder for the nations. I will cut you off from the people. I will cause you to perish from among the countries. I will destroy you. Then you will know that I am Adonai. Thus says Adonai Elohim, because Moab and Seir say, See, the house of Judah is like all the other nations. Therefore, behold, I will expose the mountain slopes of Moab with all its cities from its frontier cities, the glorious country of Beth Jeshimoth, Baal Meon, and Kiriathaim. I will deliver it together with the children of Ammon to the children of the east as a possession, so that the children of Ammon will not be remembered among the nations. Then I will execute judgments upon Moab. Then they will know that I am Adonai. Thus says Adonai Elohim, because Edom has taken severe vengeance against the house of Judah and has grievously offended by taking revenge upon them. Therefore, thus says Adonai Elohim, I will stretch out my hand upon Edom. I will cut off man and beast from it. I will make it desolate from Teman to Tedan. They will fall by the sword. I will take my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel. They will do in Edom according to my anger and according to my fury. They will know my vengeance. It is a declaration of Adonai. Thus says Adonai Elohim, because the Philistines have acted in revenge and have taken severe vengeance with scornful soul, destroying in unending hatred. Therefore, thus says Adonai Elohim, behold, I will stretch out my hand over the Philistines. I will cut off the Cherethites and destroy the remnant of the seacoast. I will execute severe vengeance upon them with furious punishment, so they will know that I am Adonai when I lay my vengeance upon them. Chapter 26. On the first day of the month in the 11th year, the word of Adonai came to me, saying, Son of man, because Tyre has said against Jerusalem, Aha, she is shattered, the gateway of the peoples, she is turned over to me. I will be filled now that she is laid waste. Therefore, thus says Adonai Elohim, Behold, I am against you, Tyre. I will bring up many nations against you, as the sea brings up its waves. They will destroy the walls of Tyre and tear down her towers. I will sweep her dust from her and make her a bare rock. She will be a place for the spreading of nets in the midst of the sea, for I have spoken it. It is a declaration of Adonai. She will become plunder for the nations, and her daughters in the field will be slain by the sword, so they will know that I am Adonai. For thus says Adonai Elohim, Behold, from the north I will bring against Tyre Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, king of kings, with horses, with chariots, with horsemen, and a vast army of troops. He will slaughter your daughters in the field with the sword. He will build siege works against you, cast up an assault ramp against you, and raise up shields against you. He will thrust his battering engines engines. I will thrust his battering engines against your walls. He will tear down your towers with his weapons. You will be covered with the dust from the multitude of his horses. At the noise of the horsemen, wheels, and chariots, your walls will shake when he enters your gates, as men enter a breached city. With the hoofs of his horses, he will trample all your streets. He will kill your people with the sword. The pillars of your strength will come down to the ground. They will rob your riches and plunder your merchandise. They will tear down your walls and destroy your fine houses. They will cast your stones and your lumber and your dust into the midst of the sea. I will put an end to the sound of your songs. The sound of your lyres will no longer be heard. I will make you a bare rock. You will be a place for the spreading of nets. You will be built no more, for I, Adonai, have spoken. It is a declaration of Adonai. Thus says Adonai Elohim to Tyre, will the coastlands not shake at the sound of your downfall, when the wounded groan, when the slaughter is made in your midst? Then all the princes of the sea will come down from their thrones. They will cast aside their robes. They will take off their richly woven garments. They will clothe themselves with trembling. They will sit on the ground. They will tremble every moment and be appalled at you. They will lift a lament for you and say to you, how you have perished, you who have inhabited from the seas, the renowned city, strong in the sea, you and your inhabitants who spread their terror for all your inhabitants. Now the coastlands will tremble in the day of your downfall. The islands of the sea will be terrified at your demise. For thus says Adonai Elohim, when I make you a desolate city, like the cities that are uninhabited, when I bring the flood upon you and great waters cover you, then I will bring you down with them who descended into the pit, to the people of long ago. I will make you dwell in the lowest parts of the earth, like the waste places of old, with those who go down to the pit, so that you will not be inhabited or radiate splendor in the land of the living. I will make you a horror. You will no longer exist. Though you are sought for, you will never be found again. It is a declaration of Adonai Elohim. Chapter 27. The word of Adonai came to me, saying, you, son of man, lift up a lament for Tyre. Say to Tyre, dwelling at the entrance at the sea, the merchant to the people of many coastlands, thus says Adonai Elohim, Tyre, you said, I am perfect in beauty. Your borders are in the hearts of the seas, your builders perfected in your beauty. All your planks have been fashioned from cypress trees of Senir. They took a cedar from Lebanon to make a mast for you. They made your oars from Bashan's oaks, of boxwood from the islands of Kittim. They made your decks inlaid with ivory. Fine Egyptian linens was your sail, serving as a banner for you. Your awning was blue and purple from the coast of Elisha. The inhabitants of Sidon and Arvad were your rowers. Your skilled men, Tyre, were on you. They were your sailors. The elders of Gebal and her experts were within you, caulking your leaks. All the ships of the sea with their sailors were with you to trade for your wares. Persia, Lud, and Put were in your army, our men of war. They hung the shield and helmet in you. They gave you splendor. Men of Arvad and Helech were all around on your walls. The Gammadim were in your towers. They hung their shields all around on your walls. They perfected your beauty. The Tarshish was your trading partner because of the abundance of all riches. With silver, iron, tin, and lead, they traded for your merchandise. Javan, Tubal, and Meshech were your traffickers. They gave lives of people and vessels of bronze for your wares. Those from the house of Togarmah traded for your merchandise with horses, steeds, and mules. The men of Dedan traded with you. Many coastlands were with your customers. They brought you horns of ivory and ebony as your payment. Aram was your customer because of your abundant goods. They traded for your merchandise with emerald purple and embroidered cloth, fine linen, coral, and rubies. Judah and the land of Israel were your customers. They traded for your wares with wheat of Minnith, confections, honey, oil, and balm. Damascus was your customer because of the abundance of your goods and all your great wealth, with the wine of Helbon and wool of white. Bedan and Javan from Uzal traded for your wares. Ironwork, cinnamon, and spices were battered for your merchandise. Dedan was your dealer in saddlecloth for riding. Arabia and all the princes of Kedar were your favorite trading partners in lambs, rams, and goats. In these they were your customers. The merchants of Sheba and Ramah were your vendors. They traded for your ware with the finest spices, all precious stones and gold. Haran and Kenah and Eden, the merchants of Sheba, Ashur and Chilmad, traded with you. They traded for your merchandise with gorgeous fabrics, garments of blue and richly woven work, carpets of multicolored material with cords twisted and tightly knotted. The ships of Tarshish serve as carriers for your wares, so you were filled and heavily loaded in the heart of the seas. Your rowers have brought you into great waters, but the east wind will break you into the heart of the seas. Your richness, your wares, your merchandise, your sailors, your pilots, your caulkers, the traders of your merchandise, all your men of war that are in you, with all your company in your midst, will fall into the heart of the seas on the day of your downfall. At the sound of the cry of your pilots, and the countryside will shake. All the oarsmen, the sailors, and all the mariners of the sea will come down from their ships to stand on the ground. They will raise their voices over you and cry bitterly. They will throw up dust on their heads. They will roll themselves in ashes. They will shave themselves bald for you and put on sackcloth. They will weep for you with bitter soul, and with bitter lament. In their wailing, they will take up a lament for you. They will mourn over you, who was like Tyre, silenced in the midst of the sea. When your merchandise came out from the seas, you satisfied many people. With the abundance of your wealth and your wares, you enriched the kings of the earth. Now you are shattered by the seas in the depths of the waters. Your merchandise and all your company have fallen in your midst. All the inhabitants of the coastlands are appalled at you. Their kings are horribly afraid. Their faces are convulsed. The merchants among the people hiss at you. You have become a horror and will be no more. Chapter 28. The word of Adonai came to me, saying, Son of man, say to the prince of Tyre, Thus says Adonai Elohim, so your heart is exalted, and you say, I am a god. I sit in the seat of the gods in the heart of the seas. Yet you are human, not a god. Even if you set up your heart like the heart of God. See, you are wiser than Daniel. No secret is hidden from you. By your wisdom and by understanding, you have made wealth for yourself and have gathered gold and silver into your treasuries. In your great skill, by your trade, you have increased your wealth, so your heart is exalted by your wealth. Therefore, thus says Adonai Elohim, because you have set up your heart like the heart of God, behold, I will bring strangers against you, the ruthless of the nations. They will draw their sword against the beauty of your wisdom. They will defile your splendor. They will bring you down to the pit. You will die the death of those slain in the heart of the seas. You will still say, I am God before the one who slays you. Yet you are man and not a god, in the hand of those who pierce you. You will die the deaths of the uncircumcised at the hand of strangers, for I have spoken. It is a declaration of Adonai. The word of Adonai came to me, saying, Son of man, lift up a lament for the king of Tyre. Say to him, Thus says Adonai Elohim, you are the seal of perfection, full of wisdom and perfect in beauty. You are in Eden, the garden of God. Every precious stone was your covering, ruby, topaz, and diamond, beryl, onyx, and jasper, sapphire, turquoise, an emerald. Your settings and your sockets are workmanship of gold. In the day you were created, they were prepared. You were an anointed guardian cherub. I placed you on the holy mountain of God. You walked among stones of fire. You were perfect in your ways from the day that you were created until unrighteousness was found in you. By the abundance of your trade, they filled you with violence. So you have sinned. So I threw you out of it as a profane thing from the mountain of God. I made you vanish, guardian cherub, from among the stones of fire. Your heart was exalted because of your beauty. You corrupted your wisdom because of your splendor. I threw you down on the earth. Before kings I set you up as a spectacle. By the multitude of your iniquities and the injustice of your trade, you profaned your sanctuaries. So I brought fire out from within you, and it has consumed you. I have turned you to ashes on the earth in the eyes of all who saw you. All who know you among the people will be appalled at you. You have become a horror and will be nothing forever. The word of Adonai came to me, saying, Son of man, set your face towards Sidon and prophesy against her. Say, Thus says Adonai Elohim, Behold, I am against you, Zidon. I will be glorified in your midst. They will know that I am Adonai when I execute judgments in her and show my holiness through her. I will send a plague to her and blood in her streets. The wounded will fall in her midst by the sword on every side, so they will know that I am Adonai. Never again will there be a briar pricking at the house of Israel, a piercing thorn from any around them who scorn them. They will know that I am the Lord Adonai. Thus says Adonai Elohim, when I have gathered the house of Israel from the people among whom they are scattered and show my holiness through them in the eyes of the nations, then they will live in their own land, which I gave to my servant Jacob. They will live safely there, and they will build houses and plant vineyards. They will live securely when I have executed judgments on all those around them that treated them with contempt. So they will know that I am Adonai, their God. Chapter 29. On the 12th day of the 10th month of the 10th year, the word of Adonai came to me, saying, Son of man, set your face against Pharaoh, king of Egypt. Prophesy against him and against all Egypt. Speak and say, Thus says Adonai Elohim, Behold, I am against you, Pharaoh, king of Egypt, the great crocodile lying in his rivers, who says, My Nile is my own. I made it for myself. I will put hooks in your jaws and make the fish of your streams stick to your scales. I will haul you up from within your rivers, and all the fish of your streams will stick to your scales. I will leave you in the desert, you and all the fish of your streams. You will fall on the open field. You will not be gathered or picked up. I will give you as food for the beasts of the earth and the birds of the sky. Then all the inhabitants of Egypt will know that I am Adonai, because they were a staff of reed to the house of Israel. When they took hold of you by the hand, you snapped and tore all their shoulders. When they leaned on you, you broke and wrenched all their hips. Therefore, thus says Adonai Elohim, Behold, I will bring a sword against you. I will cut off from you man and beast. The land of Egypt will become desolate and waste. Then they will know that I am Adonai, because he said, The Nile is mine, I made it. Therefore, behold, I am against you and against your rivers. I will make the land of Egypt an utter waste and desolation, from Migdol and Syene, as far as the border of Ethiopia. No human foot will pass through it, and no foot of beast will pass through it. It will be uninhabited for 40 years. I will make the land of Egypt a desolation among the devastated countries. Her cities will be a desolation 40 years among ruined cities. I will scatter the Egyptians among the nations and disperse them throughout the countries. For thus says Adonai Elohim, At the end of 40 years, I will gather the Egyptians from the peoples where they were scattered. I will restore the fortunes of Egypt. I will cause them to return to the land of Pathros, the land of their origin. But they will be a lowly kingdom there. It will be the lowliest of the kingdoms. It will no longer exalt itself above the nations. I will diminish them, so that they are no longer rule over the nations. It will no longer be as security for the house of Israel, bringing to mind the iniquity of their turning after them. So they will know that I am Adonai. On the first day of the first month of the 27th year, the word of Adonai came to me, saying, Son of man, Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, made his army labor hard against Tyre. Every head became bald, and every shoulder chafed. But he and his army had no profit from Tyre for the labor that he had expended against it. Therefore, thus says Adonai Elohim, Behold, I will give the land of Egypt to Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon. He will carry off her abundance, take her spoil, and take her prey. It will be the wages for his army. I have given him the land of Egypt as his wages for which he served, because they worked for me. It is a declaration of Adonai. In that day I will cause a horn to shoot up for the house of Israel. I will open your mouth among them. They will know that I am Adonai.